Hi guys, today we are going to be making roasted vegetable couscous, and I wanted to show you how I set up my area and make sure that I've got everything ready for my practical. So I've got the ingredients set out and I've got my equipment. So I've got my saucepan, my lid and my baking tray all set out ready to go. But what we're going to be talking about today mainly is we're going to be talking about layering flavors. And one of the most important things that you can do is adding additional flavor to your food. So what I've got here is I have added some extra things to my recipe than you guys have in yours. And guys, please feel free to change the recipes or to add things to your recipes if you like those things. So I've used the basic ingredients, but then I have also got some sun-dried tomatoes because I love them, especially roasted. I have, instead of just using the normal oil, I have used the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes, again because it adds more flavor. I've got some chili flakes, but you can use herbs and spices, anything that you like, any kind of oregano, mixed herbs, Italian herbs, they will all go very well in this dish. I've got some balsamic vinegar. You don't have to use balsamic vinegar if you haven't got it at home. You can use a little bit of soy sauce, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons at first. Please don't use too much. And if you do use soy sauce, don't add salt because that will change the balance of saltiness in your dish. Then I have a stock cube, vegetable stock cube here, and I've just crushed it up. But again, guys, you can use any stock cube that you have. It does not have to be vegetable. I like using chicken as well. I just didn't have chicken today. And then I've got my couscous already weighed out. So the first thing that we are going to look at is we're going to look at the vegetables. So the main thing when you are roasting things is that you need to have them pretty much the same size so that they cook evenly. So the chunks of vegetables, and don't make them too small because you're roasting the vegetables, you're not actually frying them, they're not going in a sauce. You want to be able to see the vegetables. So I have chopped up the onions as well into similar sizes, and I'm just breaking them apart just a little so they've got 1 or 2 layers, so that again they will cook at the same time as everything else. Alright guys, so I have my roasting tray here and I've added my vegetables to the roasting tray. And what you want to achieve is you don't want to pile them all up in the center, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our flavored oil. Now I've got 2 tablespoons here because I've got double your recipe. So I've got the oil over, I've got the balsamic vinegar over, and this is, I spoke earlier about layering flavors. And this is what you want to do. You want to add different flavors to the food constantly, and check your seasoning, guys. There's nothing wrong with tasting your food, just so long as you don't put spoons or things that you've had in your mouth back into your food again. Use a clean spoon every time you want to do that. I'm going to add some pepper. I love pepper, so I add quite a bit of it. You do to your taste. And a little bit of salt. Okay, so now that I've got all my vegetables on my tray and I've got all my seasonings and my flavorings on my food, I'm going to, oh sorry guys, forgot, I've got a little bit of garlic and I have some sun-dried tomatoes, so I'm going to pop that on. And I don't really like garlic or very strong garlic, so I'm just going to add the tiniest of bits of garlic. Right, then your best tools in the kitchen are your hands. You can use a fork to mix that around if you want to, but I like using my hands because then I know that all my vegetables are coated in the flavorings. So you're going to make sure they're all mixed in nicely, and then guys, you're going to spread them out because you want them in a layer, almost a single layer. so that the heat can get to all the vegetables, and you actually want the vegetables to color. And that color is very important because that color is also going to add flavor to your food. And there's two ways of adding color. In protein, we call it a different thing, but when we're doing vegetables, we are caramelizing the natural sugars inside the foods. When heat is applied, it caramelizes, it turns brown, and it goes a nuttier flavor, and it intensifies the sweetness. And you are also going to have that effect with the balsamic vinegar that you've added, because balsamic vinegar is slightly sweet, and that's also going to help to brown your vegetables, which is what you want. Right, those are going to go into the oven now, and they're going to roast for about 15-20 minutes. Just keep an eye on them and turn them. I'll show you about halfway through. So those are going to go into the oven, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to do the couscous. Right, guys, so I've got the water in my saucepan, and I'm going to add the stock cube to that, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir, and then I'm going to wait for the water to boil. Couscous is such a versatile ingredient. You can eat it cold, you can eat it warm, you can make a salad with it, you can make a stew with it, you can make a tagine with it. It really is, and it's also incredibly quick, guys. You'll see this whole dish takes about 20-25 minutes from start to finish to make. So it's a very quick midweek meal, and you can serve it with some chicken on the side, or some chops, or any kind of meat, roast chicken, or you can just take some chicken breasts and roast those. You can roast them at the same time as you're roasting the vegetables. So everything in this meal is very, very quick and easy, and it's also healthy, and it's also from scratch. Right, guys, now you can see that the water is boiling. Sorry, the steam is hitting the camera. You can see that the water is boiling, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add all the couscous. We're going to turn off the heat. Please don't forget to turn off the heat, and make sure that you give your couscous a good stir so that everything is covered. You don't want any of your couscous to be dry. Right, and then you are simply going to cover it with a lid and leave it. And when the vegetables are ready, or halfway through, I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Right, guys, the vegetables have been in for about 10 minutes now, and I'm now going to have a look at them and show you what to do halfway through. So they are starting to cook nicely, and you can see that they're starting to get a little bit of color, especially this one in the corner over here. I don't know if you can see that. You see the nice color on it, and that's exactly what we want, but I want mine to have a little bit more color. So they're going to go back in, but I'm just going to give them a stir, and obviously this time I'm not going to use my hands because they are very hot from the oven. And I'm just going to give them a stir around and spread them out again, and then they're going to go back into the oven again until they're nicely golden brown and delicious. Alright, guys, so this is what you're looking for. This lovely color on the vegetables is what you're looking for. I hope that's in focus. That, and that is the caramelization of the sugars in the balsamic vinegar, but also in the vegetables. So I'm now going to show you what we're going to do with the couscous, and I'm just going to move the camera over here so you can see that the lid's been on, and all I'm going to do is fluff up the couscous with a fork. I did this halfway through as well, guys, sorry I didn't film that. But sort of halfway through the roasting of the vegetables, when I turned the vegetables. I also fluffed the couscous up a little and then put the lid back on. But now you can see that the couscous is nice and fluffy, and it's trebled in volume, so you've got a lovely volume of vegetables, of couscous. So now all we do is we combine the two, and I'm going to do that in a separate bowl because this one's not going to be big enough because I've made more, and then I'll come back and show you after it's all done. And there you have it, guys, roasted vegetable couscous, and I've just sprinkled some parsley over the top to finish it off. Enjoy, let me know how it goes, and let me know if you liked it. Thanks guys, bye.